Hello. Okay. If you watched my Ibanez video and came to this video for more answers, hopefully that will help. If you're watching this one first, maybe you want to watch that one. I don't know. Sorry about the thumbnail. I had it lettered out really nicely, and then I tried to fix one thing and it erased the whole thing. So now you get the new thumbnail with the bad lettering, but what else is new? If I could figure out this program, half the time all these videos would look way more professional. So, yay. And as always, my disclaimer that I will not be doing live playing demo during this performance, even though I do have the guitar here. So if you watched the Ibanez video where I was playing air guitar, not literally, but more or less, we do actually have the specimen in the room for this video. I had touched on some issues about pickups and things in that one that I'm definitely going to come back to in this one. So that's a little bit more talking about the guts of the guitar past the cosmetics. But we're going to start with the cosmetics. So instead of a full hollow body, here we have a semi-hollow body. Now, as I was explaining, the full hollow bodies can be about twice as thick as this. So if you see where my thumb is, it's going to be more like that. So a little less ergonomic, maybe a little chunkier, but smaller in scale overall often than this big, what is this, 21 inches across or something? I didn't even measure it, but I'm just eyeballing it. But I mean, maybe more like 15. But still, you can see it's somewhere between probably 15 and 18 inches. So if you have a little kid, they might not like this guitar. It's a little, it's a little heavy for a kid too. It's not super heavy because it's hollow, but all these four knobs, that all adds up to extra weight down here. So you really kind of feel it. It has the exhaust port here. Instead of, a Telecaster, we'll have it down here. No floating bridge on this one in the same sense. Metal bridge here instead of the wood. Again, I didn't have the model there to demonstrate all this stuff. So it's kind of silly that I'm talking about another guitar during this guitar video, but I can't really do a head-to-head comparison if I don't have both guitars. So you're kind of getting, but they both do have the double humbucking guitars, or pickups, which is standard in jazz and blues guitars. Kind of similar pick guard, kind of this. This does not have the metal, ignore the sticker, that's, that doesn't come standard with the model. There were 3 models of this. Now, a full hollow, you have a metal thing that holds it all together, and in this one, I think you have a bit of wood that might run under here to hold it together. But originally these came in, I think, 3 colors: the red, the black, and kind of a yellow sunburst flame top kind of deal, which was actually the one I wanted. But then this one was $50 less because it was used. I don't remember if I bought it at Sam Asher Guitar Center, but a lot of times when they say used, what they mean is not a trade-in, but a floor model that's maybe been a little beat up. So this one of these, this knob I don't think works at all, and this one I think is a dirty pot, and it came like that, and I just never bothered to get it fixed because I figured that was why they sold the thing anyway. The switch 3-way selector seemed to more or less work. Most of the knobs seemed to more or less work, and I only needed, pardon the interruption, I only needed, a couple tones or whatever anyway. Typically, I don't want a super pillowy tone. I want to hear all the strings. But you can really roll off the high end if you want to, once you get the conjunctions going. What I don't know for sure, and somebody can explain this to me later in the comments, is if these 2 up means forward, or if these 2 means forward. Now, I assume this is volume and this is tone, but it doesn't say. There's just numbers. So I don't know. And again, this one doesn't seem to do anything. So I assume that's the tone for the bridge, and this is the volume for the bridge. Again, somebody will tell me why I'm an idiot. I don't care. Also, why it says Gibson on the headstock, you know, even though Epiphone's kind of its own thing, it still has that. Let's see, it says Epiphone. And this called the Dot, I guess that's because it has dots instead of nicer, fancier inlays. Now, the thing about, and then of course it has the binding, which this guitar is at least 15 years old and I haven't had any issues, but I haven't totally played it to death. I haven't taken it on the road. You know, it's been more or less babied. It's a little bit scratched. I don't even know if you can pick that up. You know, from the buttons and belt buckles and that kind of thing, but not in terrible shape. Here you got your strap button and your other strap button. You can see the neck. The neck is glued in there. A longer scale of neck than the Epiphone that I was talking about, but it has that flat, not very wide, you know, not like a Stratocaster or a Telecaster baseball bat. A little bit more similar to a Jazzmaster neck. In fact, maybe almost exactly the same. A little bit lacquered, more than I maybe remember, but you can see it's painted. So it's not quite that same satin finish as some of the maple Fender necks or whatever. When I bought it, this is the part that I really wanted to get to that you Ibanez people tuned in for. Oh, and the F-hole, of course. And this will not resonate as badly. You can play it with a bit of overdrive. Won't blow up your amplifier in 2 seconds. You know, you can get a bit of volume with it. Nice tone overall, even for as inexpensive as it supposedly is or whatever. But the pickups, they had 2 models in the store at the time. They had the Epiphone Dot, which is this, in, you know, like I said, the 2 or 3 colors. And I almost bought the yellow one because I wanted it to look like, you know, a Tom Petty guitar or something. But then they had this like super tricked out black one with the gold instead and everything. It looked like a real BB King kind of special. Apparently that's a Sheraton, not a Dot. So I didn't know that at the time. I thought they were both the same, but one was just, it was $650 or something. And I thought it was just because it looked prettier. And I asked the guy, is that, you know, the same guitar? And he said, yeah, pretty much. Don't worry about it. Then I come to find out that if it was the Sheraton, the pickups should be an upgrade from these pickups. So how much better those pickups are from these pickups, I don't know. And at the time, like I said, I had the Ibanez and I was getting rid of it, which I think was right before or right after I bought this. I don't know if the Ibanez pickups are better or worse quality than this, or if they're basically the same. Have no idea. But supposedly the Sheraton has the better pickup, so it's not just a prettier guitar. So that guy either didn't know what he was talking about and screwed himself out of a good sale, because I would have maybe spent the extra if I thought it was that much better of a guitar, or he just wanted this one out of the store and figured I'd buy it and whatever. I don't remember. I think I only spent like $300 for this one, which at the time was still kind of a lot of money. And like I said, I wasn't playing on the road or anything, so I couldn't really justify having some tricked out Lucille looking guitar anyway. And this one was even cheaper than the yellow one that I wanted actually kind of more anyway. So obviously it was a total compromise guitar. And I was like, okay, give me the red one because it's cheaper. Fine. Done. And I still have it. And I haven't have it worked on, and I haven't changed the strings. And it still plays just fine. If I can do this with this chair. It's still more or less in tune after sitting in the case for the last 2 weeks or whatever since I last had it out. So yeah, no complaints. But yeah, you still have the plastic nut, and you still have much nicer fret wires than a lot of the Fenders I've gotten. I gotta say that this is not painful at all in any way. So they put a little bit of work into these. For a cheap guitar. They're still mostly, you know, handmade, as someone astutely pointed out. You got the tuning pegs in the up and down position instead of the straight across the top or whatever. I mean, it's just, you know, your basic guitar. And this one was, it doesn't say where it was made. I assume Asia somewhere. I don't know. And I don't know what else to say about that after 10 minutes, except, yeah, like I said, for what I spent on it, I don't really have any complaints. But if I go to upgrade, I'm not sure if an Ibanez is a lateral move or a Sheraton is worth the extra expense. I wish these are questions I could answer better. So in a future video, hopefully I can do that.